Slam back, holla at ya. We're back here on our way to the usual spots, the toy box and the flea market. But at the time we were thinking of maybe going to some garage sales because it's the middle of May. However, what's the forecast looking like?
It is snowing.
This is not rain, this is snow. It is like 40 degrees and not looking like it's gonna get warmer anytime soon. So garage sales, even though it's a Sunday, are looking very doubtful. We are out at the toy box once again, looking for some hidden gems. You have anything in mind?
If they have any more N64 games complete in box, like last episode when I got Iggy's Wrecking Balls, then I'll go for it for a good price.
Very solid pickup. So yeah, I don't have anything really looking for, more pumped for the flea market, but we will of course look for some treasures under the radar.
A gamer or a collector, Scooter?
That's a tough one. I see myself right in between the two. For me, I would say I am not full-on a gamer because I don't have the newest systems, Xbox One, PS4, Wii U. I do have 3DS, so that is where I fit in the category. But I have been playing a lot more of the older games, so that's where I kind of find myself in the balance. However, I do have a pretty weak collection in comparison to the professionals like this guy. So I guess I'm working towards being a collector.
I think maybe we could call you a casual collector.
I like that. That's a comfortable title that I can live with, but I find myself wanting to play so many games that I actually have already that I'm not, buying new ones. And I do like the thrill of collecting, getting the good deals and stuff, so that's where I find myself. I am going to guess that you subscribe to being a collector first.
Yeah, definitely a collector.
We have arrived at Dixieland Flea Market and are going in with a little bit of a strategy today, as Austin has some things he wants to possibly trade or get a little discount on some games. So what are you trying to trade in
I was there last weekend. I was talking to the video game guy, like I said, and I was asking him if he would take in Amiibo because I saw he was selling some. So he said he would, as long as they weren't like the crappy ones. And the reason why I have all these is because right when Amiibo were coming out, they started getting like ridiculously expensive, so the only way to get the ones you wanted was to get doubles.
The man-made investments.
To go with that stuff, there's a video game guy and then there's like a card and toy guy. So yeah. I brought that for the video game guy.
Toy guy's the one who kind of screwed me on Beetle Adventure Racing. I hold a little grudge.
So I'm just bringing in some cards I don't want anymore. There's a few I'm going to keep, like the old school Dark Magician.
Dark Magician with an attack strength of 2,500! Dark Magic Attack!
Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon.
The new ones that we don't really care about too much. And I'm thinking I could get a sick deal if I trade in this champion boss. But it's not mine, so I'm not going to bring it. So we're looking for good deals. I have not met the video game guy yet, so I'm very pumped to meet him and hopefully banter a little bit, haggle a little bit. So we're going to check it out and hopefully strike gold. We just had an insane trip in the flea market. Actually, I didn't film anything, but no spoilers yet, but we just went ham.
You guys have, if you watched our other videos, you've seen what the place looks like, but we had a good old time talking to the guy and making some deals. We picked up some great stuff.
We did, and we finally, I mean, for me, I finally got to talk to the video game guy, not just the card guy, so we had great conversations. We'll go into everything in detail, but best trip ever, I think it's fair to say.
We're going to have some good pickups to show.
Well, we just had what I think was our best trip ever, even though it was pretty short, and we'll be going to some more places here in this episode. But we started out at the Toy Box, which has been a staple of Mission Nostalgia, kind of our home turf. And I picked up this Game Boy bag, which kind of matches my Game Boy Advance and Game Boy Color zip-up bags. So I was pretty happy with that. I got it for $5, and the guy there was like, "Oh, I have a whole stack of those." So he made me feel great about how common my item is.
Scott was kind of looking around for stuff, and I wasn't really interested in the N64 stuff he had out. So I was trying to make some polite conversation. I was like, "Hey, did you hear about that stadium events that guy found at an estate sale?" And he got really worked up. He was like, "Stadium events isn't rare. Stadium events isn't rare. Stadium events isn't rare. Stadium events isn't rare."
Yeah, he was like, "I see that all the time, and it goes for way too much money, and it's a terrible game." And we were kind of like he said, he was just trying to make conversation.
I like this store, but we respectfully disagree with them.
Yeah, that guy.
They're still cool people.
They're cool people, and like you said, cool store. So we go there every time anyway. So it's not like they're losing our business. But the flea market is where the magic happens. So you can start out talking about what you did with trading in and whatnot.
So you guys have already seen that I was gonna make a big trade. In total, I think was about
110 for the game stuff.
Yeah, 110 for the game stuff. And
So
then,
between the amiibos and was it just the amiibos?
yeah, all the game stuff was amiibos, and then there was
Yeah.
$38 worth that the guy offered me in cards, which, I mean, I could have sold that stuff on eBay, but it would have been a big pain in the butt.
True.
I didn't really want to scalp the amiibos because that's not cool. So just trade inflated stuff for more inflated stuff. That's how the game works, I guess. So first, let's start off with one of the things that I got. Harvest Moon, Friends of Mineral Town. I have never played this game, but I have the Nintendo 64 one, and I love it to death. It's so much fun, so I wanted to try that one out.
And that's a beautiful box too.
Didn't come with the manual, but I can find one cheap, I think.
So for me, I decided to bundle two things. I didn't have anything to trade in, so I was really looking for a deal. And while I maybe didn't get a steal of value, I did get a good price for the condition of these games. So I finally made the purchase for Beetle Adventure Racing. It's the same one I was looking at last time. Corners are extremely clean, and I'm going to pull out the cart too because, in my opinion, it's pretty much a flawless cart. And this is where last time, I believe the guy offered me, it was either 25
Yeah, it
or
was 25.
25 for it, and that was the offer today if I were to buy it by itself. But I also picked up Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards, which is a game I rented a lot as a kid. Loved it. I love the music. It's actually one of my favorite video game soundtracks of all time. And another very good condition box. I'd give it 5-star condition. The game is not flawless. I mean, there's just a little scuff, but it's still really, really good condition. And no manual in this one. There was a manual in Beetle Adventure Racing, but his initial offer was $60 for the two, and I decided to counter him to $55 just because I thought if I went $50, he'd maybe think I was lowballing him, and then he just wouldn't be open to counters. So $55, I was comfortable with countering. He accepted, and the way I look at it is it kind of paid for my Game Boy bag for free, so I was happy with these pickups.
Wasn't a bad deal. And
Absolutely.
the box itself had a sticker on the back and some gook on it, but
I think the sticker's kind of funny though. It's a Blockbuster Video sticker from 2001. So I'm just gonna leave that on there because I think it's kind of funny. If I ever were to sell it, I'd remove the sticker. But show us what else you got.
next up, yeah, let's do this. I got Secret of Mana. So I've heard a lot about this game. It's supposed to be a really good RPG, and then you can play it with your friends as well, which is why I wanted to get it. So
I've played very little Super Nintendo games, so
if we ever get one of those Elgato capture cards, me and Scott might be doing some co-op Secret of Mana. And I basically just had a little bit of trade left over, so I was like, what game should I get? There's not really any more stuff I want. So I was like, you know, something I really want to play. That was it.
was everything you got?
Oh yeah, you're out of stuff.
Yeah, I was like,
I still got some more
you
stuff.
got a lot of stuff.
I also got a box of manual for Majora's Mask. Been looking for that for a long time, but it's so expensive on eBay. So it made it worth it to use my trade credit to get this. It's in really great shape.
Great shape.
It's manual too. I really love this game. You still gotta play it.
I haven't touched it yet.
I would make the argument that it's better than Ocarina of Time.
I've heard both ways.
Others say Ocarina is better. Let us know down in the comments what you think.
Wind Waker for life.
Link to the past for life. And the last item, Magical Tetris Challenge.
By far the rarest game we saw today.
That is not quite true. It might be rarer than stadium events.
Oh,
That
yeah,
one guy.
according to that guy.
But basically, it's just Disney's version of Tetris. It's in great shape. I'm slowly going for completing box on 64. But I got the rest of my life to do that, so.
And thinking about picking up more Disney NES games, right?
Oh yeah, I mentioned to Scott while we were in the flea market that I'm going for the complete NES Disney set. So I have Chip 'n Dale's 2, that's a big one off the list. Little Mermaid so far. That's about it.
I mean, just something to start checking off the list, but
I don't really want to go too heavy into the NES, but that's something I'd like to do in the future.
so yeah, those were the deals we made today. His trade credit kind of opened the doors for us to interact with the seller there, who was a great guy, very personable. We told him we'll be back, definitely, and
We also told him to try and get him some more business too.
yeah,
We made a good impression. That's important to do when you're collecting, looking for good deals.
even if you're not happy with the prices, like at the toy box, just always be polite, because you never know when you'll be able to haggle a little bit or just kind of make that connection. Anyways, we're going to make some more trips for sure, but it was horrible weather today, so no garage sales.
It's snowing in May. Michigan weather for you.
That's Michigan. We'll be back.
What's up, everybody? We are making the rounds to some thrift stores today. Actually got a beautiful day, unlike last time. No snow. But it's a Monday, so we are unable to go to garage sales, but hoping for some gold. And there's also a reseller shop we're going to check out too, so big plans.
We'll let you know if we find anything.
Just got back from Goodwill, made a couple pickups, and our next stop is the reseller store, or just kind of new.
Yeah, it's called Video Store.
Literally called Video Store.
We're just coming out here for the Goodwill and Salvation Army. Kind of didn't realize it was here, so we're gonna check it out.
See if we find anything worthwhile. We are now at Salvation Army after saving the day Jumpstart any guy's car.
Hopefully it'll give us some good karma luck when we go in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Karma. Austin went to buy more games. He's finally back. What do you have to say for yourself for leaving me alone in this sketchy community?
It was definitely worth it because I just paid $1 for like 10 PlayStation 1 games. 2 of them are really good.
Could have lost your best friend.
You got a cloud.
Your good karma's gone. We are back from Salvation Army, and we are at another Salvation Army.
I guess with the Goodwill.
Is that? Yeah, it's a Goodwill. It says Salvation Army right there. Oh. Goodwill. 146. Gotta cut this baby fat off. Ooh,
Bunch of good stuff down here.
Sonic. Not an Olympic Games, Sonic. Can't complain. Great success.
Good day hunting.
Great day. Beautiful day in general.
What kind of smoothie did you get?
Sunny day. Got some mango, some pineapple, banana. And it is a sunny day, so. Boost those fire attacks, free solar beams, no charge ups.
I got peaches and silk. Here's the thrifting for games. Good luck.
Oh, my bad. I didn't know you were going for the toast. We are back for round 2 of our pickups to recap the second part of the episode, and we had some surprisingly good luck at some thrift stores.
The last time we were out, it was about 40 degrees, and now it's about 80 degrees.
And that's in the matter of a week, so Michigan weather for you. Yep. But let's get right into it. We started at a Goodwill, which I have really never had good luck at, ironically. But today I found some alright stuff. So for 25 cents, I picked up Return of the Jedi Special Edition VHS. Had it as a kid, and for $0.25, why not pass it up? And we got a clip of me finding this Pikachu plush toy for $1. So that could be joining me on some of my Scott plays in the near future.
So while he was over there messing around with the Pikachu and over at the VHSs, I was checking out the electronics section. Found these 2 little handheld games. They were $1 each, but at the register I think it came out to like $1.06 total. It must have had some kind of special going on. But yeah, I'm just gonna use these for recoupers.
That'll work. So after that, we went to the video store, which did not have porn. It wasn't that kind of video store. It actually was just a movie rental place, and
the signs kind of made it look like it was a video game store.
Yeah, they had the Sony logo and the Xbox logo, so we thought they would maybe have some games, and they did, but only Xbox One, PS4.
Those were the rentals inside. Outside they had a table of stuff for clearance, but it really wasn't any good games.
Just 360 and PS2 games. So yeah, nothing good, and we were a little disappointed with that trip. But we did jumpstart a guy's car, and that's when our good karma kind of hit us. Next trip, Salvation Army, right in the same area. I think with 2 thrift stores they'd be a little depleted, but this was probably our best trip today. So I'll start with my lesser items first to build suspense.
Good.
So first of all, I got this Detroit Pistons photo of the arena from about 20 years ago. That's going to go up in my apartment. And also, I got this cooler for $3, mini cooler, so I can keep my beers cold in tailgates, which is a problem I've been having lately. Also, the picture was $2. And the big pickup for me, because Austin definitely would have got this if he saw it first.
I really wanted it. He caught me slipping.
So it is a Nintendo sports game VHS tape, promotional video, and that was only 50 cents. And that was with the VHS tapes at the store. So I think he was looking at the game still, and I found this one. I just happened to see the side of this with sports logos and the 64 N cube, and I was just right on board with it.
After he found it, he's like, "Hey, look what I got!" And I was like, "Hey, dude, can you help me out? I've been looking for those." But he's like, "No, I'm gonna hold on to it."
He
So,
was a little salty,
mad.
but
For a minute.
he did turn it around, and I'll let him get right into that.
Yeah, so after he went and got that, I was kind of bummed, and I was like, I really want to find something. Maybe I'll go back over to the games. So then I went over the games, and a guy had just brought these out.
Literally after we went the first time and found nothing good, this guy dropped what you're about to see here. He got all of them.
I'll start with the filler stuff. So this is Driver 2. They're all PlayStation 1. Asteroids. And 98. A collection of classic games for the Atari. Midway, Greatest Hits. Frogger, which
That was actually a good one.
yeah, I was talking to Scott about playing Frogger on the Super Nintendo. I really want to find it.
I used to play it on the PS1.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2.
It was pretty fun too.
And here's the good stuff. Crash Bandicoot 2. Black label, so fun. Bad about that. Got a nice hollow label too. And Medieval. Page is a little cracked, but I think I'll switch it with one of the filler titles. It'll look more clean. And I was kind of bummed about Scott getting that. I got this.
Well, how about your prices on those?
Oh yeah, each game was like 10 cents, so it came out to like $1.06 at the very end. But after he got that, I was thinking, yeah, I kind of want it, but if that's the price I gotta pay for a good trip with a good friend, then it's worth it.
Kind of lower the levels of salt there. But yeah, I checked out with my things, which were $2 to $3, about $5 total. And then they rung him up when he just got Crash Bandicoot and Medieval. Said 21 cents. And we got to the car, and he was like, "These are 10 cents each. Why leave them on the table?" So he went back, got those, and that was our best trip. But we did make one more.
Before we move on to the next one, when I was checking out the first time, Scott was in front of me. He had just checked out, and then I stood up and I was talking to the lady. And saying, "Okay, here's my games." And then all of a sudden, I caught a whiff of something that smelled terrible. These little kids, they ran in like right in front of me, so I was like, "Oh, maybe one of these little kids had an accident." And then on the way out, I was talking to Scott. "Hey, did you smell that in there?"
It was me. I promise I don't have stomach problems, but the first time I had enchiladas, and today I had pizza bites, so pizza rolls.
I couldn't believe it. It was terrible.
It was me. It was me. It's always me. But that works out in our favor, so.
I guess it does if we always get good finds.
Well, we did make one last trip, and it was not our best one, but we did make pickups nonetheless. We saw some cool movies and stuff that kind of brought us back to our childhood. But I did
And
make
a lot of VHSs.
a ton, wide selection. And I made one pickup actually for my dad because we're not too far from Father's Day. So I got him this mug with a Corvette Stingray on it because he has one of those himself that he has restored. So I got that for $2, and that was my last pickup for the day.
We went over to the game section. Everything looked pretty picked through. But I'd been there the other day, and I noticed some new stuff. And one new thing was Sonic and the Black Knight, which I don't know if it's this one, but I heard there's one good one on the Wii. This might be it.
I've never even heard of that Sonic game, so
It was only $3. Why not?
let's know if it's good. So those were our pickups for the day. Probably our best day at thrift stores for sure.
Yeah, this is the first time we've ever went thrifting for games.
Mm-hmm.
we're definitely gonna do it again. It was fun.
Yeah, I've gone to the occasional Goodwill. Like I said, never found anything really worthwhile gaming-wise. So I was happy with the pickups. It was a total of like $10 for all this stuff. It was way under that with those 10-cent games. So the wallet semi-full.
That was crazy.
So definitely a great day. Finally the weather turned around, and that's it for us.
You got 2 pickups in one video. Pretty fun stuff.
Great stuff.
We got some really good stuff.
We'll see you guys next time. Game Slam, signing off. That's what I do on my LPs.
I know. Stadium events isn't rare.